Wombo combo.
That ain't Falco.
That ain't Falco. Oh!
Yeah, look at this. Combat Operation Formula EAAEAAQ. I never seen this before. Master's combat to deal high damage. Imagine if they did this for like Ryzen or something. Honestly, for older characters, they might have given us the wrong combo. But I'm assuming this is the right combo because like there's only one way to play her. Am I putting Varesa? I think so, yeah. But mostly for exploration and Iansan, not actually for the Abyss, but she seems strong anyway. Okay, this is the C0R1. Jesus. Basically, like, you press her skill and it's kind of like Shao skill and then it plunges. You can look at it here. So what you do is you do EAAEAA. The E is the Shao skill, so it's the same as the Shao skill, but then the first A is a charge attack which throws you into the air, and then the second A is the plunge. Oh, basically there was like a viral video of Varesa killing this boss in 2 plunges, but then the guy tested it, the same supports with Garming, and Garming also did it in 2 plunges. But the Garming one required a lot of resets. So in a lot of the Varesa videos posted so far, a lot of like the comment section is like saying, oh, Garming's better. You know, Varesa takes more consistent, less skill, more brain dead. And then for Garming, like, you even have to like catch the, what's it called, Manchai. So is she like a more casual friendly Garming maybe? And also Varesa is better in Overworld. PvP is an inevitable aspect of every gaming community. Yeah, this is the free-to-play team. So the boss fall off, but you can refresh it. But if you have enough damage, this might even be better than, you probably don't need Marika then. I'm curious, did anyone calculate this Varesa team with Marika versus this Varesa team with Varesa weapon and Bennett? I wonder if Bennett is stronger, but if getting the weapon is stronger than getting Marika. She could use the Wizard though. Wizard is always the best 4-star. That's just how this characters are. So he's getting 300k plunges here. So he's saying even without the plunge buff, you can still get 300k plunges in this team. 390. So I guess if you minus the plunge buff, you still get 300k. The biggest advantage of this team is that you don't have to watch the big ultimate animation, movie length animations. Yeah, imagine going from this team to playing like Farina Shenyan. Like by the time you switch to Varesa, this team's already killed the enemy. She seems just like a better Raiden, I guess. It is what it is. Raiden still looks better though. But Varesa, you can switch off Varesa to refresh the Cerberus's buffs, so it's not that big of a deal. Do you guys think they made the height of Varesa's jump exactly so she could actually jump onto this? Or they made the pillar the exact height to where Varesa can get it. And Varesa, yeah, I'm going for Varesa. Because for me, I skipped all the Overworld characters. Look at my account. I skipped Shao. I skipped Wanderer. I skipped Shenyan. I skipped Chaska. Even Arlecchino. Like Arlecchino, you know, with her wing mode, that was like an Overworld thing, kinda. I fast tracked, and then now I have the new best Overworld. I would have the new best Overworld character, and then I skipped all the other ones that got power crept in the Overworld. It's like Star Rail. Like Star Rail, you know, like there's like different stages of power creep. But if you just wait, like you can skip. You can like jump, you can bunny hop over the original power creep and then you catch the next power creep. So because I have to put on the banner anyway, because I want to play Iansan, I'd rather get Varesa than Shenyan. Yeah, but Marika, you have to do the bunny hop thing. I think Varesa is better in exploration if you factor in how cringe the bunny hop stuff is. Or the thing is, you could have Marika in the same team as well, but you'd use Varesa for like running around and moving, and then in these situations, you'll switch to like Marika to climb or fly a bit. But I think the climbing and flying is less relevant exploration than running around. Like so far, it seems people that are making the Shenyan videos are people who have like constellations, whereas the people who don't have constellations, they have been making the videos on the Overload team, bro. This is the creator experience. Okay, let's be honest. This probably sells more Varesa than like a speed run. Let's be honest. If this was posted on like the Chinese TikTok or something, why is she able to walk on water? She's not even from the same clan as Mulani. Yeah, that is exploration power creep. Mulani got done dirty there. Because it makes sense that they gave it to the Natlan, like the Natlan god, but like a random character getting the walk on water thing. This is a full-on 26-minute guide on Iansan. This video compares Iansan and Bennett. However, the comparison is not intended to criticize or praise the other, but just help the audience understand the various advantages and disadvantages of Iansan. On top of that, these two characters can not only be put in the same team, but also you can play one of them on the top half and the other on the bottom half of the abyss. Is Iansan Bennett situation the same as Kazuha Shilonen? I mean, this is like a niche thing. The Kazuha Shilonen was like two like more universal supports. This is I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't think I would say Iansan is universal based on my initial impression. Like I feel like that it's only because of the Bennett comparisons that he might sound universal, but if you compare it to like Bennett, Kazuha Shilonen, he definitely seems intended to be played with specific characters. Basically like a Natlan Bennett, which is good because on the plus side, I mean, a lot of the strongest DPSs at the moment are the Natlan DPSs anyway. So it might feel that she is universal, I guess, because a lot of the characters that have come out recently and a lot of the strongest DPSs you can play with, but like Kazuha Shilonen, when they came out, they worked with a lot more characters across the spectrum. Honestly, outside of the Natlan attack scaling DPSs and then the plunge characters, maybe I don't have high expectations that she will improve anyone else. But the thing is, even the plunge characters, I don't have high expectations that she'd be an upgrade for the Shao premium team. And a lot of the other plunge characters, you want the melt, so that wouldn't apply anyway. So I don't have high expectations outside of the Natlan characters, basically. Yeah, even, I mean, some people are mentioning Chlorand. I'm not going into Iansan release expecting her to be an improvement to Chlorand. Because Chlorand doesn't even move that much. And even if Chlorand does move, the improving on like, Kujosara will be quite an impressive feat, quite difficult but she might be easier to play than Sarah. But yeah, just because I don't expect it to happen doesn't mean it won't happen. I mean, she could be an upgrade for like 10 different characters. It's just that I'm not gonna get too excited about it, especially if you don't get all the constellations. If you don't get all the constellations, it could even be the case where like even the Natlan characters, it might not be an improvement. I doubt it though, because she seems extremely tailored to Natlan. So I'm assuming like out of the box, she'll still be quite competitive. But once you start getting to the less and less synergistic stuff, then she's probably doing less and less. Yeah, the point is that I always like to manage expectations with supports. Because if you don't manage expectations and you get too carried away, like what may have happened in the past with some stuff, may or may not have happened, then you end up overhyping supports, and then you think that like a character got buffed, but then like a couple months later when the hype dies down, then you realize that actually that character didn't really get buffed. We were kind of a bit too overexcited. And on top of that, like Iansan's a 4-star, so if you get too excited about a 4-star, then you end up blowing all your pulls trying to pull them. And yeah, nothing worse than like spending all your pulls, not even getting the 4-star or getting a few constellations, and then you realize that you didn't even need them. Yeah, for Marika, it might not even be like a damage upgrade. It might just be like a quality of life upgrade. Iansan doesn't work with you. Like, I don't think so. She doesn't have off-field electro, and the scroll set doesn't buff physical, but she does give an attack buff. So she could replace Bennett in a Eula team. It's just that you don't get the full value. But then again, if you have a C6 Bennett, then you don't have Bennett's full value anyway. Advantages and 3 disadvantages versus Bennett. Her overall power with the ideal teammates is higher than Bennett. Yeah, I guess the ideal scenario means like a Natlan support with all the buffs and the scroll set. That probably is true. Yeah, and the second one is the no circle impact thing. But these are the pros, by the way. And the duration of the buffs is 3 seconds longer. So the buffs only last longer if you have the C6. With the C0 to C5, her buffs only last 12 seconds. Okay, so the downside. Okay, the first downside. Healing is weak and slow. So she's a bad healer. It's quite a big downside. Yeah, okay. The second disadvantage, Bennett is more versatile. So she's more like limited. Yeah, so in a way you could argue that Bennett's more flexible because the circle impact thing is a downside of Bennett, but Iansan needing your character to move is maybe even a bigger downside if you think about it. It's quite interesting though. I like Iansan kit because it was quite suspicious that all the Natlan characters move around a lot. So we actually said like ages ago. Do you guys remember? I made a video when Marika released. I thought they were gonna give us one final support to truly milk the Natlan premium team and give us like a Natlan Bennett, but I don't know if many people would have like predicted that was how they were going to do it. It makes sense though because all the Natlan characters move around a lot. I was thinking like they would give attack buffs based on the amount of night soul your team consumes or something. So this is a cooler way of doing that. Look how fast it decreases though, even though Varesa is able to replenish it quite well. So does the C2 let you skip the charge attack then, because you automatically gain a state after, I don't know if that's a skill or the burst, but after she uses one of her things you automatically get like a buff, and then it also gives you 30% attack. Whereas the C2 you get like 30% extra attack and you can skip her charge attack. That sounds like an insane C2. This guy's kind of gassing up Iansan a lot, man. Maybe she is that good. Okay, buff comparison. What, Marika without any buffs is 129k? Is that with a signature weapon? I would have expected the Bennett to buff quite a bit higher. So the C0 Iansan is 186. But well, you can't. It's not an exact comparison because if you remove Bennett from this team, then you lose Pyro Resonance. So even removing Bennett here, the Iansan damage will go down. So you can't do like a direct comparison like this, really. You're comparing their buffs when you're playing them together. So it doesn't really matter whose is more or whose is less, because these are all situations where you're playing them both. If you replaced Bennett, then you could, in the Iansan team, then you could compare them more. Yeah, so he's saying when you were saying that Iansan gives more buffs, he's assuming you have scroll set on her. So if you're playing a team where she can't use scrolls, like this team here, then her buffs are worse, right? Yeah, then Bennett buffs more. It's the scroll set basically. That's kind of how a lot of the Natlan characters have been. Like the real overpowered support in Natlan is the scroll set. Well, even Wanderer can't keep up the buffs, and Wanderer is moving quite a bit. Well, yeah, he's not. Maybe if he does the dodge, Wanderer's dodge attack. But how much would Wanderer's dodge buff make up for that though? Ganyu, this is no way. This is not copium. Even if you do want to compare them, you can play the one on the top half, one on the bottom half. So in a lot of situations, you don't even need to do a direct comparison. Even Chlorine, who seemed to move a lot, couldn't keep up. Yeah, Chlorine's not keeping up. But I mean, you can still get a smaller buff, I guess, from her. So he's saying the way you could tell if a character can keep up is if they move more or the same speed as Chaska, which is like, it's like most characters. Who actually moves more than Chaska? Xiao? Wait. So he's saying even if you don't, if you can't keep up with the buffs, you can still play her. So this is C6 Bennett versus C0 Iansan. But the buffs are still good. I guess the only thing you lose by movement is the flat attack. Is that what it is? Because I guess you still have the scroll set and you still have the C2 buff. That C2 seems massive. Is that like the best C2 for any 4-star? Okay, apart from Faruzan C6. There's some good C6s out there, but like anything before C6, I feel like it's probably the best one. So the C4 increases the night soul recovery rate when she's off field. I don't know if she has to be off field or not. I don't know. And then the C5's the burst buff, that should buff her buff then, I guess. So the C6 increases the duration of a buff from 12 to 15 seconds. Yeah, we knew that. And increases the damage of the on-field character by 25%. What the hell? Oh, it only lasts 3 seconds. You have to overflow. You have to overflow every 3 seconds. So maybe you get it at the start because she will overflow herself. But then, yeah, you probably need to be a Natlan character. Or maybe like Xiao or something. This is without Iansan using the scroll set. He's saying the buffs are still bigger. He's saying C6 Iansan can buff DPS that stand still, like Arlecchino, and it's comparable to Bennett. hold on, what is this one? So the one on the left is Bennett. So the top right one is Calamity Queller, I think, and then the bottom one is Fav. So her buff's going down are quite fast, but the damage is still good. So her two weaknesses of the she's not very good at healing and she's not versatile. With the C6, then she is versatile because she just buffs too much. So her only weakness is that she can't heal. She can't heal well. Yeah, so that first weakness is removed then. But like I said, a lot of these teams you play them both anyway. So she might not even be replacing Bennett. Is there any team where she's actually replacing Bennett? It's probably like Kinich. Is that it? So she's probably like more of a replacement for the other buffers, honestly. Like, I don't know, like Farina, Shilonen, Auroran. What about Cloran? Cloran's different because Cloran, you don't want that much attack buffs from her. Sarah already like just goes over. And I think Iansan gives more attack than Sarah, so that might be a problem. Also, there already is a scrolls user. You give scrolls to Marika already. It'd be quite interesting to test though. So the whole thing with Calamity Queller is that it lets you cap out on the buff at lower stacks, but then you lose out on the Fav energy. Is it not a high base attack Polon with attack percent? They just gave us this weapon. You don't need energy. Yeah, but the thing with Natlan is a lot of Natlan teams don't need energy anyway. It's all part of the scam. The scam is like, it's like a multi-layered scam. That's how they get you. Honestly, like, does any Natlan character need energy apart from Seat Lally? Yeah, obviously you want to burst on those characters, but I mean, like, is any Natlan character bricked except with energy except for Seat Lally? I feel like none of them are brick. Obviously their bursts are nice. Auroran. Yeah, but it looks like they power crept Auroran with her C2. Is every Natlan DPS an attack scaler apart from Mualani? You could probably say that Iansan's a better support than Shilonen, because even Kinich and Chaska doesn't use her. Because I think if you do a direct comparison, Shilonen versus Bennett for Marika buffs, I think Bennett buffs more.
Burn it down! Let's light it up! Everybody, grab from the sky!
146.
Grab from the sky!
124. Yeah, it's less. I could 100% see Shilonen getting replacing this team. But then again, you could replace Bennett. The real inconvenience is not losing Pyro Resonance. Let's take a team of Marika, Seat Lally, Shilonen, Iansan. If this team wants to trigger melting, Iansan must go before Seat Lally, and then Seat Lally goes last to ensure the monster has cryo on them. Yeah, sure. The process of cutting out Seat Lally will cause Iansan's Night Soul value to be unable to obtain the maximum value, resulting in the Marika burst not being able to have C6 Iansan when you use the burst, meaning the damage will be lower than that of the Bennett team. Is this true? This is the real inconvenience of Iansan compared to Bennett. But he's saying the bigger issue is losing the C6 buff. Basically, he's saying that when he was testing, you don't get Iansan's C6 buff for Marika's burst. Yeah, you'll get the C6 buff after, but the most important hit is the nuke. 1, 2, 3. Is that Iansan's nickname? That's quite funny. Because basically, if you guys don't know, Iansan, that's like in a lot of languages that used Chinese stuff, that's like 1 and 3.